Hi YouTube family, welcome to PeaceOfRen, where we drop gems and we speak for them. um anybody could watch me, right? But like, what I wanted to say when I started this was, ladies, if he wanted to, he would. Okay. um this is not a man bashing session. This is this is just my personal experience and something that I feel called to speak about, because I know so many women who have like not good experiences with masculine energy, right? And like, we all have masculine and feminine energy, but I'm specifically talking about, I know so many women who don't have good experiences with men in their lives, right? Myself included. Okay. So this is not a men bashing session. If anything, this is a man appreciation session, okay? Because now, okay, we're gonna talk about me, because that's what it's about. It's about me and my experiences, right? Okay, so I have not had the best experiences with men in my life, okay? Just in general. And I want to say romantic or platonic. The thing is, I also haven't really had a lot of platonic relationships with men, because in my experience, they've always wanted something more. And I'm just a very deep and sensitive person, and they just can't, meet me there sometimes, most of the time. And so, I mean, it's gonna sound really bad, but like, I've always been a lover girl, right? So always like in and out of relationships and stuff like that. Okay. What I realized this year, sorry, I got this, it doesn't matter. What I realized this year though, right? Last year, at the end of last year, is that I met a guy. Um, it's not like that, not like that. I met a guy. No, I connected with a man who completely flipped my world upside down, okay? I, with relationships, right? I'll start there. In relationships, usually a man will scope me out. They will pursue me, let me know that they like me in some way, and then be like, hey, you want to date? And I would be like, yeah, go along with it. And it's like, we'll get to know each other through the dating process. Just for me to find out while we're dating, like, yeah, I don't actually like you, and it's clear that you don't like me. It was very surface level, so it's like we were getting to know each other in the dating process, right? So I never like met a guy and like was just like friends and getting to know each other for a while before we started dating, I guess you could say. And I realized that because my best friend, he is my best friend now. I realized through connecting with him, like, my past experiences with men, and he is just he's so patient, and he is so kind, and he's so intentional, purposeful, considerate, caring, loving. He is just so honest, transparent, like. And I reached out to him because I be moving like when spirit tell me to. So it's like I had seen him and I was like, I don't know why I keep feeling pulled to like talk to this person in this spirit, like, And so I had connected with him and I reached out to him and I just said what was on my heart, what I felt called to say, what I was being guided to say. And it really resonated with him. And then we just kind of like hit it off and started talking. I was like, oh my God, I love him. And not like that, because I love everybody, okay? But it was just like, he's so easy to love. Like, he's so easy to care about. He is so easy to like, I just love and adore everything about him, okay? And so through this connection though, I have a lot of traumas and triggers and fears because of my past experiences with men. And so like, and people in general too, because I'm so used to people leaving after a certain amount of time, abandoning me or something happening between us. Like, like the first month with people, it'll be good. But after the first month, that's when people kind of drop their mask and I start to see them for who they really are. And that's not just with men, that's with women, that's with friends, that's romance, that's everything in general. Like that first month is like a threshold moment. And then after the first month, the second and third months are also like, those are really big threshold moments. And I hate to say that I'm like counting the time to see like, okay, how long is it before this person leaves, or how long is it before their mask falls off, or how long is it before something goes wrong? Because like, I know that sounds bad, like you're just expecting the worst, but also like that's just the reality of like what my life has been. It wasn't like that before, like when it wasn't like that until I started having this awareness, because in the past I had like a very anxious attachment. And then when I started my spiritual journey, I started having more of like an anxious avoidant attachment. And now I have a more secure attachment, but it's because I've learned that through this connection with my best friend. And so like after month one, I was like, oof, like I don't know, he's still being the same. Like he not switching up, he not changing. Like what's that all about? Okay. Um But after month one, because he stayed the same, now I'm like hyper aware. Like, okay, we gotta find any small thing that he might do to be like, aha, I knew you was just like everybody else, right? And then month two comes around and it was like, he's still the same person. Like, and that's not to say that we don't grow, because I've seen so much growth in this connection just between both of us, like in our individual lives. He is not even the same person he was when we first like met or connected or anything. Like, and that is just so beautiful to me, for me to be able to witness that, to like see the growth, because I just really don't see that in men. And I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's really hard to find men that care about themselves or take themselves seriously, that are like devoted to themselves. They have a certain level of discipline, but also can still respect others and be considerate of others, because we can go all in on ourselves, and sometimes that causes us to like isolate. And it's not selfish to like focus on yourself, but sometimes like you get in that place and then you really don't have like empathy, compassion, and kindness for other people. And it's okay, because it's a capacity issue, but I'm just saying, like in my experience, this is kind of how it comes up. So month two, I'm looking. By month three, I'm like, okay, because when you start working, right, the 90-day period, that's when it's like it's official, you're in there. So after month three, I'm like, okay, he's still being the same person, he's still showing up the same way. And I'm not saying that I'm crazy, but I'm very emotional, and everybody doesn't see that. Like, y'all know that I'm emotional, but y'all don't see like the depths of it. And I didn't even want him to see it, but the thing is, like, with him, it was just like, it's just so easy to be like open and transparent and like bare my soul. Like, I don't mean for that to sound so like deep and heavy, but like it's really that real. Like, it's so easy for me to just be myself with him. And I realize we're very anime coded, and if you watch anime, they're very animated, and it just be so fun. Like, it just be so fun, because in my connections, everything be so serious and so deep, and like they never really care to get to know me. It's like I'm always like taking care of somebody else, or like being responsible for them and their stuff, and they never actually want to like get to know me. We don't actually ever bond over anything that's like fun for real. And so it's like, he brought out my inner child, and I haven't felt my inner child in some years. Okay. um and so like, he really brings out my inner child, and I just be wanting to play, and it just be so fun, and it just be so funny, like when we be talking and stuff. Because it's just so joyful. And I'm really weird, and like, I don't mean it in like I don't care if people call me weird, but like, I'm weird. Like, I'm eccentric, I'm different, I'm out there. I'm okay with that. It literally doesn't bother me if I say that I'm weird. So it's just like, I'm different, I'm out there, I'm very animated, but he just like, he don't be judging that. So that's one thing. Like, we have a similar sense of humor, but also too, my emotions, like, and it's because when I really be going through stuff, and I said this in one of the, I think one of the last videos that I had did, where like, I will like duck off when I'm feeling like low energy, or if I'm really down, because I don't want to want that to rub off on others. You know, I like to come out when I'm feeling better. But with him, it's like, I just can't hide. I just can't hide. And I just be wanting to tell him stuff because I just feel so safe with him. I've never felt this level of safety with anybody. I've gotten close to this before, but I've never felt this kind of like safety for somebody who just accepts me in all the parts and everything that I am. And I mean in everything that I am, because how I said, like, I'm used to, like, okay, I want to pop out if I'm being like really positive and stuff, because I'm very loving, I'm always supportive, I'm always sending motivational messages and saying motivational things and sharing things. And but like when I be like down, it'd be rough. And I didn't want him to see me like that. I don't want anybody to see me like that, but I also don't want him, I never wanted him to see me like that, because it's like, it's the first masculine connection that I have, and I don't want him to be like, oh my gosh, like, this girl is too much. I already felt like he was gonna think I was too much because I'm just a lover girl. Like, if I say that, like, it's so hard to like explain that I'm in love with like my best friends, I'm in love with the people that are close to me, but like I'm just in love with life, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I just be so in love, like, and I was already worried that that was gonna be like a thing. Like, he was gonna be like, okay, you're weird, like, you're trying to like force yourself, or you have this like weird obsession, and it's not that. It's just like, I've always wanted to give love, and it's so hard to find somebody who genuinely wants to receive it. Never mind the fact that I also want to receive love, but to find somebody who genuinely will receive you well and not think that you're weird, which I am a little different, but like, so when it's like, okay, you're accepting all the lover girl parts of me, and you don't think I'm weird. You're not thinking I'm crazy. You're not thinking I'm trying to be like obsessed with you or turn this into something, or but then also when I'm sad, like, he just so freaking sweet, like, all the time. And I love it because he might not even know what to say, right? A lot of men be like, well, I don't know what to say, and she mad, so I just kind of like shut down, or whatever it is that you men do when y'all don't want to be there and y'all don't want to show up. But like, you do know that we don't always need somebody to like give us a solution, or you don't necessarily have to say anything. Sometimes I just want you to sit in the discomfort with me, because I'm feeling, and I just need you to be present. Like, I don't necessarily need an answer. I don't need you to evaluate the situation. I don't need you to say anything particular. I just want you to be here. And so it's just like, he's that though. He's that for me. I'm like the ocean and the waves, and I be ebbing and flowing, and he's like the anchor. Like, he be so steady, like, does not waver. And I just love it, because if there is like a conversation or something that's being had, like, he will just let me know, like, I don't really know what to say. Or like, I've learned that he functions through laughter. I know that men and women think different, but I've never been around a man long enough to see like how really different it is. Or like, there's never been a man that's been this open and vulnerable with me, so that I can understand exactly what those differences look like. So when they say like we communicate different, or you know, we think different, we process information different, right? And so it's like, he processes information a lot slower than I do, I would say, because I'm like rapid. But I've been like this my whole life because I'm so emotional, so I can name emotions like quickly. But men, they don't ever really be having like safe spaces for real. So like, if you're a safe space for a man, shout out to you. And that actually means a lot to them, more than they may be able to express, because it can be really hard for them to express, I'm finding out. It's not always that they don't care. Like, some of them really don't have the words. It's like they know that they feel a feeling, but they don't have a word for the feeling. And that's something that I've been learning through this connection. And because I process emotions so quickly, like, if we have like a deep conversation, or I'm sharing something and I feel really vulnerable about it, I can like go into a state of panic if he doesn't respond quickly, or and give me a certain kind of answer that I'm looking for, because like, he just processes differently. But then that's something that I've been learning through the connection, and it's so cool to me. It's so cool to me, like, oh, we really are different. Like, men and women really are different, but like, we complement each other. Like, the masculine and feminine energy, it genuinely complements each other. And I'm just so grateful. I am so grateful to have him, like, that love that man down, like, would not trade him for the world. Like, and now it's gotten to a point where I wouldn't date again unless somebody could. I would not date again unless the man presents themselves in this particular kind of manner. Like, he has set a standard for me with men, because if this person can show up in this way, in a non-romantic way, like in a platonic way, if he can show up in this way, if he can meet me with this level of care and consistency, because that's the other thing too. We talk all the time, and I'm not saying we talk all day every day, but we do, like, we connect every day, even if it's just once a day. Like, it doesn't matter if we're sick, it doesn't matter, like, some of the things that we have gone through in our personal lives, but we still find a way to connect and communicate that, like, and I just appreciate that, because communication is so important to me. Consistency is so important to me, because you could say all day that you love me and that you care, but if your actions show otherwise, like you're acting like you don't care. You could say that you love me, but you clearly don't care, because look at the way that you're treating me. And so just, excuse me, confirmation, the level of care and compassion that this man has for me is like, and I would get in my head sometimes, because we're about to be rolling into, like, I think like month 6, and he's still here, y'all. He's still here. He's not running away. That's crazy. And I know this sounds bad, but I have probably one friendship in my life, and I've been friends with her for almost 10 years. And she's my girl best friend. I have, I mean, really that. I have some people here and there that I would consider they're like family and I'm close to, but we don't talk. Like, they're not like how my best friend are in that sense, but they are like family to me. And this is the longest a man has been in my life, except for the ex that I dated for about 5 years. This doesn't happen to me. We don't count certain people that I dated. They don't exist. That's why I said except for that ex or whatever. But yeah, like, this doesn't happen to me. People don't stay for this long, especially not like at a friendship level. I'm so used to, I brace myself to lose friends, because I'm just used to it, and not because anybody that I've come into is just like bad people or anything like that. It's just that, like, we're no longer aligned, we no longer vibe, our frequencies no longer mesh, and that's fine. And so, you know, they have to go their way and I have to go mine. But this is the longest that somebody has like been around and been consistent, and I'm just grateful. I express gratitude to him every day, and he, like, I'm sure he just like, damn, like, when she gonna stop saying like thank you? But like, never. I'm never gonna stop saying thank you. I'm never gonna stop telling you that I love you. Damn. I'm never gonna stop appreciating you in your entire existence. And I really adore him and everything that he is, and he is just so, I admire him. He is so disciplined. He's so determined. He is so aware of self. And he's so open. That's another thing. When it comes to men, I realize that all the men that I've come into contact with, they have this thing where they feel like they have to dominate me, or they feel like they can get one up on me, or to try to control or manipulate me in some way, especially because I have this big heart with these big emotions and all this love that I want to give. And he is not like that. And I love it, because most of the time when I connect with men, they try to compete with me or dominate me. And that's so weird to me, because as a man, what are we competing for? You have your role and your function in life, and I have mine. If anything, like, together, we are stronger together. Together is better, you know? Like, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Exactly. So it's like, why are you being weird to me? We're supposed to be on the same team. But that man, that is my partner. That is my ride or die. That is my ascension partner, if I ever had one. He is everything divine masculine is supposed to be. And I know if he ever watches this, he'll probably be like, why would you gas me up, and why you done made a whole video about. I had to. One, I've been recording, I've been documenting my existence, because this is going to be so cool for me to look back on in a few years. And I'm being consistent, committing to myself. And, you know, we always talk about the things that make us sad, or the things that we grieve, or the things that, you know, have hurt us and have caused pain. But I just wanted to take this time to appreciate and express gratitude for, because I have gone through some of the hardest moments of my life since I have met this man. And he has just been such a grounding, such a stable force for me, such an anchor. And not even like, it's like the space is so safe. It's so open. Like, we know that we can go into the space and we can say anything. We don't really have a lot of disagreements, but like, if ever we do, it usually be me, because my traumas and triggers. If ever we do have disagreements, or like I'll be tripping, it's like, but I'll know though. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm triggered because you totally did this and it made me think of this, and I know it's not you and it's me, but also this is how I feel. And like, I just love him so much because like, he will actually take accountability. He will apologize if he's wrong. Like, he can actually see things from another perspective. And then like, if we're discussing something and I see something and it's like, okay, I have to tell him the truth, because I'm not gonna let anybody run game on him. I'm not gonna let anybody play him. I'm not gonna let none of that. Okay. And so, but it's just like, if I tell him things, he doesn't ignore me. He actually considers what I'm saying. And that's not saying he has to listen to everything that I say or I tell him what to do, but it's just like, I'm very highly in tune. Okay. So like, I have dreams, I have visions, I just know things, I hear things. Okay. And like, for some men that could be like very woo woo, especially if you don't have like a certain level of faith. But like, when I express those kind of things to him, he doesn't get lost in my whimsy or my magic, and he doesn't think that I'm fucking cuckoo in the head. It's like, he actually considers the things that I'm saying, and he will take it in, and if he can see how that can benefit him, or how it's like relevant to him, he will actually consider and like implement that into his life, or at least carry that with him. He will like have that level of awareness. And that's just so important to me as a woman of faith. I'm so deep into my faith, into my magic, into my whimsy. I'm so joyful, I'm so playful, and people think that I just live in my own little world, and like, I do, but also I know what I be talking about. I'm not crazy. Y'all be thinking I'm stupid because I'm so like, oh, but like, it's not that. So I just be grateful. I just be so grateful. I just be so grateful. And in the same way that he is able to learn from me and take those things in, like, I'm able to learn from him. And like, you know, most men, they'll try to tell you something about yourself because they try to like bring you down a level, or like I said, that domination, that competition thing. They feel like they have to be in a certain level of control. But it, with him, like, if he tells me something, I genuinely trust, like, okay, what it is that he's saying. Or if I challenge his perspective of what he's saying, he can always adjust and stuff like that. But I actually value his opinions, and I value his perspectives and the things that he says. And he helps me with a lot of things. And if I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like, he don't have no shame in telling me like, hey, I think you're jumping off the deep end. And like, where I might have been like offended before, I don't get like that with him, because it's in the delivery. But I said all this to say, if he wanted to, he would. And that's a man in general. This is a man that's meeting me on a platonic level. This is a man that's meeting me in friendship and camaraderie. Okay. So women, I know we want love. I mean, if you don't want love, that's on you. I want love. My heart been broken in love, damn it, but I still want love. Okay. But I've learned through him that love, intimacy, connection, care, and all that stuff, I learned what it actually means to me. And yeah, romance would be cool, but also I'm not settling for less than what I'm getting here. If I have somebody who will communicate with me, I have somebody who can be consistent with me, I have somebody who can show up and have grace and compassion, somebody who cares, who has patience, why am I gonna settle? Why am I gonna go date this man who can't even be on time? I don't know. Okay. And I don't know who this is for. I don't know who needs to hear this. Like I said, this was not a man bashing session. As you can see, this was a man appreciation session, because that doesn't happen to me. Okay. I don't have a lot of masculine figures that like show up for me in life in this particular way. So I just wanted to express gratitude and appreciation for you. If you're watching, you're probably not. I don't even think you watched my YouTube channel, but it's fine. But because you listen to me yap in real life all day anyway. But the point is, If he wanted to, he would. So don't settle, and don't think that your expectations or your level of love isn't out there, because clearly you just haven't found them yet, you haven't met them yet. So don't allow yourself to settle, because it's hard, it's rare to come into, um these kind of genuine divine masculine, divine feminine connections, because a lot of people mask. But just know, if you do come into a connection, like, you're gonna know. And it might take a little bit of unlearning on your part, at least it did on my part, because I got a lot of traumas with men. But it's worth it if you can see it through, if you don't let yourself get in your head, if you don't let those old stories and narratives replay. um it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And you don't have to settle because you want to have romance. I promise it's never that serious. It's not even all that is cracked up to be, in my experience. So when I find a man romantically, he's coming like this. And if he ain't stepping like this, he gotta go. I'll just be honest. But yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. I just kind of wanted to have girl talk, I guess you could say, or whatever, because, me and you, and yeah. If he wanted to, he would. Okay, I'm out. Love you.